shout out your boy Fernie. He was on the show. You guys trained together at
Oh
Fortis
yeah.
MMA. We watched this fight real closely. Really unfortunate he couldn't get it done, but hopefully he keeps his head up. Still a really good prospect in your camp. How is everything going on in Team Fortis right now?
Oh, it's going great right now. We have a handful of fights coming up, and we just had Ryan Span came off a big win.
Yeah.
Sam Hughes is coming up. She just fought a few weeks ago. She won, and now she's fighting again this Saturday.
This Saturday.
Yeah, it's back-to-back fights, so she's looking great. And we're definitely about to pull in a bunch of guys through the Contender Series again, like we did a few years ago. We're going to do the same thing this year. So we have a lot coming up and a lot going on for sure. And definitely with Fernie's fight, he just he just wasn't like ready to pull the trigger for whatever reason. I don't know why. He just like got in his own head and just kind of slowed down and never could get that rhythm again. So he'll be back though. He's got the talent to be there.
Are there some ways that you're kind of consoling him and kind of being there for him? Hey, man, we
No,
were
I
all
make.
there.
I'll
You do?
give him,
Okay.
yeah. No, I'm like, just jacking with him. But like he knows his shit. Like he knows he's good. Like he knows where he stands in the gym. And I think it's kind of how, as a fighter, you gotta have to gauge yourself off when you're sparring with someone and then they go fight that week. You can kind of see certain things that you do against them that it works really good. So you could like kind of gauge yourself against another opponent. And it's just like he knows how good he is. He can hang with a lot of guys, and he's got a lot of good speed, a lot of good jiu-jitsu that he hasn't shown, and good wrestling. So it'll come together soon. Hopefully his next fight he comes out ready to go.
And speaking of next fight, you wanted a top 15, couldn't quite get it because you got Derek Minner instead.
Yeah.
Kind of reviewing, he's 1-2 in his last 3 fights. How do you feel you stack up against him?
I love the matchup. He's definitely a tough guy. Definitely, he's got solid grappling. He throws crazy hands, heavy punches. He kind of gasses out. He kind of does the same 1 or 2 submissions every fight. And when he misses them, he misses real hard, and he gasses out. And I pride myself on my cardio. So if he gasses out, he's in trouble. If it stays on the feet, he's in trouble. If it goes to the ground, I don't see where he beats me. But he's a tough dude. And as far as the top 15 and all that nonsense, I told them that I wanted to fight 3 more times this year. Mm-hmm. And my manager and Sean and my coach were kind of like, well, maybe the top 15 is not your thing right now. Maybe you want to mix it up and roll out 3 or 4 fights back to back, and then we'll break in that top 10, top 15 just naturally, and we'll go from there. So I'm looking at Derek as a strong opponent, no matter what the ranking is, no matter whatever. Like I respect him. I know his style is tough. He's a tough dude, and I know he's gonna come ready to fight because he just had a kid. So anytime you got a dad out there that just had a kid, they're wanting to secure that money and secure that check for the kid. And he's gonna be ready to go, but I got a family too, so I'm gonna be right there in his face.
Yeah.
Hey, so we follow you on Instagram, and we saw that when Cowboy pulled out of the fight, that you hit up Dana White and you were ready to fight.
Oh, yeah.
What was that about? You said you had a feeling. What kind of feeling did you have?
It's like I play games with myself. I'm just always like. I do pretend weight cuts all the time. Like I'll cut down to 50 or 53 maybe, something like that. Like I'll just do like random things like that. But like during fight camps, like for other people, the whole week I look at the card, I look at the matchups that I could possibly replace, and I prep like I'm gonna be like pulled in last minute every single time. And so I do that probably if I don't have a fight, I do that like every other weekend. And I prep for weight cuts all the time. And I always prep my body to where on Thursday, that's my weight cut day every week. And still today, like tomorrow, I'm doing the same thing. I'm doing a weight cut tomorrow, just because that's kind of how the weeks play out. Is it the whole week you hydrate and then you start cutting it out, and then you like on Thursday, that's your weight cut day, and then Friday is weigh-in day. So on Thursdays, I do my big weight cuts, and I do that just because that's how it is in the UFC. It's like every week it's the same. So, you kind of know what to expect. But whenever I was there with Macy, Fernie, and Matt Schnell, they were all doing their thing. And so I had nothing to do besides run outside and like break a good sweat. And so I had my weight down low. All my medicals were done. I even told my wife before I left, I was like, hey, be ready to jump on the fastest plane out there, because I was like, when these guys pull out, I was like, I'm taking the fight.
Okay. I like that confidence.
So I told her that like the week before I left, and I was game, man. I'm telling you, I'm always ready. Like people say it all the time, but like I'm that guy. Like I'm ready to go 24/7. My weight's always good. Cardio's good. I'm always healthy for the most part. My medicals are always kind of almost always done. So I was ready to go for real.
Who did you have a preference? Did you want to fight Cowboy or did you want to fight Joe? Like, and
no, hell no. It's like, it's just like whenever I said that to myself mentally, I'm thinking like, there's no chance. But, if it comes down to it, Joe Louzon or Cowboy, either one of those guys, if you say their name, people know who they are. So they've been around the sport for so long. So
yep, those are true OGs.
It would be cool to fight either one of those guys. And, style wise, I think probably the Cowboy fight would be better for me, but he's got some good jiu-jitsu too. I've rolled with him before. I've sparred with him and rolled with him before in the past. And he's a tough dude, but, I would just like to get in there and mix it up with whoever.
Yeah. And you're always ready, man. You're hungry. Look, you're calling out Cowboy. I mean, what gets you so motivated? What keeps that fire?
I'm assuming it's those kids, huh?
No, I don't do this for my kids. That's the dumbest job choice ever. Like you don't go after, you don't chase being an MMA fighter as being the provider for your family. Like it's a dumb life choice. Like I did this before I had kids. So like whenever I had kids, I was like, oh shit, now I've got to figure out a way to do this with kids. And so I still work full time. I'm doing everything I can to like make sure I keep my own dream alive. This is my dream. This isn't their dream. I'm not doing this for them. I'm not doing it for my wife. I don't do it for my dad or anybody. Like I love everyone's support, but this is my dream. This is what I want to do. So what keeps me motivated is it's like the ultimate competition. It's like, you have to test yourself physically with all the training, all the mental side of things when things don't go your way in practice or they don't go your way for your weight cut. They don't go your way during the fight, and you got to get ready for that fight or the next fight. People talking crap, like saying whatever they want about you, and you got to just kind of eat it. And you got to go out there and perform. If you don't win, then they're right, and if you do win, then you can shut them up. And so it's like the ultimate competition, though. For me, it's going out there and making someone tap out is like my favorite thing. So when I get a chance to put it on the line like that, like it's like it brings the best of me out, and it's just like I love it. And I love testing my body and doing all the weight cuts and prepping myself like cardio wise and strength and all that stuff. I like to kind of push the limits, and it's just a beautiful sport, and it's like the ultimate competition. There's nothing else like it, and that's what keeps me motivated.
Okay. You said that you still have a full-time job. Lately you've been seeing a lot of UFC fighters saying that the UFC doesn't pay enough. Do you feel the same way? Do you think you guys should get paid a little bit more?
I'm different than most of the guys because I have 4 kids. So like I have 4 little girls, and if you have a girl or a boy, like little girls are expensive as hell. And my kids are stupid athletic, so they all play
soccer, wrestling.
They all do select sports. They're always they need good nutrition. They need to be fed every day. My wife's got to drive a good car. I've got to have it's just like my life is very busy. So like for me to work is like it's not even in the question of not working and just fighting full time. That's like the dumbest choice, because if you get hurt, you lose that chance to make your money. And it's just like I don't know how a lot of people survive. Like a lot of these guys, like I don't know what they're doing to make a living, but you couldn't just fight for the UFC unless you're in the top like 4 or 5 guys. Then maybe you could make a solid living if you don't do anything. That's like no vacations, no, like you pay for like I don't have sponsors. Like I don't ask sponsors for like food or ask them for supplements and things like that because I don't want to be someone's bitch. So I'm just like, I would rather work my ass off and train my ass off and get it my own way and pay for it myself than to ask someone for it. And I think you see a lot of these fighters, they like beg for like sponsors, and I'm like, why do you want that? Like, why don't we just go buy it yourself or do it yourself like that? It just I think I'm different than a lot of fighters, but as far as like having a family, doing this full time, it's not the easiest thing in the world. So I've got to make sure they don't struggle if I want to chase my dream. So I'll make sure that they have what they need.
I like that. And real quick, since we're talking about a job, on your information on your email, it says PT on there. Are you a physical therapist or are you personal trainer?
I've been a personal trainer since when I was in like my sophomore year of high school. I started training people, and that's been my job from the beginning. And I'm going to open a gym this year. And
okay, that's what's up.
It's just like I want to bust out 2 more fights, and then I'll open a gym before the year's up. And I'm just my focus is right now like I'm obviously want to make the most money out of MMA, but it's really just kind of setting myself up for having that gym and having a name to open the gym under, and be a part of the sport for a long time. But I want to make sure that I'm getting the most out of it too.
Yeah. What kind of gym is would it be like a lifting gym, CrossFit, or are we talking like an MMA gym?
There would be MMA there, but it would be mainly like a wrestling and grappling gym, because I do a lot of wrestling. I coach the middle school, 2 middle schools in Rockwall, and work with a lot of the high school kids here. And so my gym would mainly be like a grappling and wrestling gym, but people love to do kickboxing and love to lift weights, so it would be a combination of everything. But it would start off with wrestling and grappling.
So let me ask you this: was this a dream that you've wanted for a while to have your own gym? Okay, because I just wondered if it was something that kind of popped in your head as soon as your daughter started wrestling. Maybe you wanted to have like a facility for her where she can train and you can kind of facilitate a little bit better, kind of be more control.
That was the big reason I started coaching, was because I wanted that control. I didn't want her to have like some dumbass coach teaching her something. But it was really like, for me, whenever she used to ask me to wrestle when she was like 5, 6, she would ask me to wrestle. I'm like, you're never wrestling. Like, sorry, you can take whatever you want, but you're not wrestling. Because I know what wrestling is. It's like the most brutal sport. It's so much emotion. It's like physical. It's hard as hell. I'm like, you're not going to go out there and wrestle with boys. It's not going to happen. Because I used to like smash every girl that I would go up. I would beat them as bad as I could on purpose, because I was like, I'm not losing to a girl. So whenever we moved to Texas, I didn't realize how big the USA girls program has became. And now they have a full girls practice here for middle school and high school. They have girls only tournaments, the girls only dual state. They have girls only state. So it's cool to see how much the sport's growing. So I was like, she got into middle school and she was like, hey, I really want to try wrestling. I was like, you know what? Let's just try it out. This kid, she goes 16-1 for her first season to ever wrestle. 16-1. She had 14 pins, and she lost in the state championship 2-1 in triple overtime. And
damn, what a freaking
weight class.
Yeah, she's a freaking G, man. It was the coolest.
That's crazy. She placed second in state her first year of wrestling.
Working with girls, man, it was the coolest thing. They listen so much better. Like they're so much smarter than boys at that age. So my girls team, they killed it, man. We had a great year. And then the boys did awesome too. We had a good year. But I'm looking forward to going back there next year and getting back at it.
Let's go, man. And I love your whole approach, because you're a trainer. So it's like almost, besides your coaching, you're your own coach, because you know it. You know the fitness, you know the nutrition. Yeah. So it always kind of helps with you being the fighter, actually being the nutritionist as well. Hey, look, man, this channel is called the Call Out Podcast. No better place to call someone out than here. Anybody that you kind of have in your mind that is a fun fight, there's someone that you would want to get after. That's it.
I can't. I figured. I 100%, like 100% have someone that I want to call out, but I have to take care of business first. Yeah. I have to get in there, and I pride myself. Like, I don't want to ever talk over an opponent thinking that I'm going to beat him, but I really feel strongly that I'm going to beat Derek. I'm going to beat him in a lot of ways. And as soon as the fight's over, I want to definitely get after it. if they don't give me what I want, I'm definitely gonna make it public because I know some people are dodging me. And it's so funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got managers, text messages. I've seen stuff in person and
Say the names. Say the names.
No, I can't, man. I can't.
Nah,
I
you
gotta
know,
focus
the
on
reveal.
I don't want the jinx is real. So you start talking
Exactly.
smack, and it's
Yeah.
real. So I'm focused on Derek. I'm gonna go after him hard. And I know Derek. I know he watches these interviews. I know he does all his homework and stuff. That I know he's ready. I'm ready. So
It's
I
gonna
think
be
it's
a nice
about
fight.
9.
Let me
Yeah.
ask you this. Since you're not gonna call no one out here, can we get a prediction from you? How do you see this fight? Do you think it's gonna go? You're gonna finish him?
Yeah. Yes. 100%. I'm gonna go at him. I'm gonna go at him at a pace that he can't hang with, and whether that's a TKO finish or a submission finish, I'm getting the finish, and I'm coming at him hard.